Welcome to Overtown, historic Overtown, located in the heart of the downtown Miami district. There would be no soul of Miami if there was no Overtown. And tonight we have assembled a group of men who have made sure that this community was not only serviced, but also upheld to the quality and standard of the people that it's named after. Towners for life is what they call themselves. Before we begin, we have to pay tribute to the brothers and the men who are no longer with us. Brother Craig Lewis, would you do us the honor of naming them?
I'd like to mention these distinguished gentlemen. Start with Gregory Brown, Danny Copeland, Theodorus Cochran, Ricky Delancey, Wilbert Turner, Doug Edwards, Alan Edwards, and the list go on and on, you know what I'm saying? Antonio Sanders, real good brothers. Wish they could be here, but we're going to hold it down for them.
That's right. And for those brothers who have passed on, who are no longer with us.
Cedric Walker, Aldine Lake,
Antoine Brown,
Cat Eyes,
Algernon Taylor,
Gregory Scott.
Vincent Spratley.
Very well done.
Yes.
My name is Nicole Gates. I am a resident of Overtown by love, for sure. I came to this community about 10 years ago, and I fell in love not only with the people, but with the history and with the culture. And it was important for me today, as the Goodfellas celebrate their 20th anniversary of their organization, that their story be documented and told by them. Joining me today is Stephanie Van Vark. Much like me, she is a transplant and has been living in Overtown how long?
20 years.
20 years. But she fell in love, just like me, with the history and with the culture, with the energy of the people. Absolutely. And she created a company called Going Overtown, which was important to highlight the businesses and the events and the community.
Good parts of the community.
And the good parts of the community.
So this is part of the good stuff.
It is, and they're the good fellas.
Exactly.
So let's just jump right into it. We are located in Little Greenhouse Grill, located at 1300 Northwest 3rd Avenue. It is owned by one of the good fellas, Kareem Bryant. And so it is important and so exciting to have these gentlemen here today to tell the story. We wanted to have a conversation with them, by them, as they celebrate the 20th anniversary of the Goodfellas.
So let's start with that. What is and who are the Goodfellas?
What is and who are the Goodfellas? The Goodfellas are a group of guys that originally started in elementary school. The park was our meeting ground. So we all came together to play sports and everything through the city of Miami. Each one of us played on Dixie/Gibson Park for all of our lives till we became and went to high school. So all us friends at 45 years. And I'm 50.
Welcome to the fifth floor.
You know what I mean?
Welcome to the fifth floor.
We was like, we got pictures where some of us we was in pre-K together, that we all still friends, you know what I mean?
So who decided to call it the Goodfellas? Who's the guilty party?
You know who it was? It was this guy. He's no longer with us. He was an older guy. Michael Bird. Bird. When Bird used to sit on the porch around there. Yeah. It was a guy named Michael Bird. He was older. He was an older guy, and he always just like see us coming. Them the good fellas. They ain't gonna do nothing wrong. They the good fellas. Y'all call them the good fellas. So, I guess from the movie to that he, you know what I'm saying, he followed up that, and then, I guess that it just stuck, it went from there.
But what made y'all the good fellas? What separated you from the other fellas?
Go ahead, man.
Our giving. Everything that we did was from the heart. So if we had a cookout, it was always free. Every party we had was free. So anytime we did anything for the community, they knew if the Goodfellas was involved, it was always given. Even from the lowest to the highest person, we always respect people. So no matter if they was on drugs or not on drugs, when they came by us, they was always respected. No one could beat or do anything to anyone in front of us that we would allow. where we were. You know what I mean? That's how we became the good fellas. So even the guy that he's saying, he's seen the way we treated people. That's why we became the good fellas. You know what I mean? It wasn't nothing that old lady walking across the street, somebody go grab a bag. But we was out here now. Out here. But we are the good fellas. You know what I mean? You know, so out here. You know what I mean? But we out here, you know?
That's another documentary.
Let's stick with the good part. Let's stick with the good part. So what were some of the good things y'all used to do, you know, that for the neighborhood in its totality?
We all, go ahead, Ben. Go ahead, Ben.
Well, I mean, we've done a lot of good things, but I think from me much doing the picnics to the parties, I think that's some of the highlight things. Doing football camp, the youth putting on different programs. I mean, I can remember when I came back from my days of, you know, playing NFL and, you know, living out my dream, coming back being the football commissioner, where we kind of helped revive and kind of took over. These guys already involved, giving back to the kids, teaching our youth how to play football. So for me, I just came in with the love and jumped right in. I became the commissioner, and we kind of helped take Overtown Optimist program to the next level. And it wasn't warned by everyone, but at the same time, me and my friends, we understood what it would take. And we was once those little kids because we kind of got it from a guy named Manuel Washington. Pop, he kind of gave us, you know, gave us that love and showed us that love. So we was easily able to duplicate that and, you know, show the love and give it back. So I think that's some of the heartwarming things that I think that we did. And there's other things as well, of giving money. And then we had, and I can't leave without saying, it was some of our guys, Monkey Brown, who's not, he's living, but he's locked up. And to me, he was probably the best gift for Overtown that we ever seen, far as learning and teaching us how to give.
Right.
He always gave. I mean, we had our prom or something come up, and we might ask for $100. Man, what you think you going? They ain't gonna give you nothing. You gonna give $500. I mean, but he just made opportunities for us come true and be, you know, real to where we had a chance to experience it. So guys like that showed us the way, and then we just wanted to be able to give back and show our kids how to give. And we constantly doing a good job. And I mean, I have to say it, all our guys not here, so we still have some things we need to work on as well, growing, but at the same time, I think in our heart, we all mean well and want to do the thing, but sometimes, you know, you get older and different things happen, but through that, we all gonna come out next weekend, have a good time, and hopefully we can continue to do it until, you know, God's trying to take us out of here.
So what happened? Why did the Goodfellas sort of break apart? Was there?
Well, I don't think we never broke apart. We just,
As we grew older, you know, and then like some of us was married, some of us got families, so we never really broke apart. But we, you know, as a family, we had families, so we went our separate ways as we got older, you know. So
if I need any of these guys at this table or any of these guys that ain't at this table, they're a phone call away. No matter what I need, whatever we need, they here.
Who's still here in the neighborhood and who's moved on?
Me, Vark,
85% of us.
Oh, really?
I'm here every other weekend.
Okay.
he be here like he still live here. You know, so he live here, you know.
But I must say, I mean, he made a move to move his family to Sarasota, and I think it's beneficial for his family. It was probably the best move that he can make. With some of the things going on with our kids, just raising your kids and maybe showing them something different. But he never forgot where he came from. You know, he constantly here, so I think that's
Never
all.
will.
And I think that's the same for us. I mean, I went off to college. When I was at college, all these guys were there with me for 5 years. They graduated from the University of Florida.
yeah, we pretty much was there every other week, and we was pretty much there every other week. So yeah.
And right now, you know, I'm married, and I have, I don't want to say a problem, but my wife, she understands the love, but sometimes it becomes a jealous thing, which I wouldn't say jealous, but it becomes a header because I'm so used to those guys being there supporting me that, you know, when we have an event, I'm always wanting to be there. And sometimes I forget I'm married, you know, and that can cause a problem as well. But I'm getting older, I'm understanding, I'm just, you know, learning how to manage both of them. But that's just the love we have for each other.
But the love is there, and it's gonna always be there. You know? As me, I came in, I was a young guy. You know, they seen, hey man, let's take him in. That's what they did. And since then, I was 16. I'm 45. I just turned 45 Monday.
That's right, Vark.
From the time I was 16, they showed me nothing but love. These are my big brothers and my uncles.
Yeah.
So what do you think young people can learn from this story?
A lot. And they learned a lot 10 years ago from us. And with the 10-year span that we separated, all deciding to go do different things and not hang out as much on the streets where our presence were. They learned a lot because we have a group of kids, younger guys, that tried to mimic us, and they're the baby good fellas. So you know what I mean. So when you're doing something right, somebody always trying to duplicate. And we was just positive. We never negative.
Actually, you have somebody in the room here that talked about watching y'all as y'all were growing up.
Yeah, he was one of yeah, pretty much. Oh yeah.
And that y'all were an example of the man he wanted to be.
But I think too, in our community, there's not enough fathers, and I think a lot of times growing up, we all didn't have our fathers, or if they was there, they wasn't as prevalent. But if you around this table, all of us are right now involved in our kids' lives, and they're as a friend, as a mentor, as a father figure. Because a lot of times, we leaned on each other. It take a village to raise a child, and all our kids, uncle, nephew, so that we don't call them little Ben or little Ernie, nephew. That's kind of the thing, and we kind of set a precedent with the community where they understand that these are we was at 35 years old and they was calling us uncles and like the fathers because there was no black leadership within the community. And I think we kind of stuck on that road in the things that we're doing, setting that standard as a mentor or father figure.
What's next? What's the big plan?
Basically, after the white party, it's bringing us back together, and doing different things in the community that we haven't done before. When we doing this the first time, we had no clue about life. We was just loving people. Now, with the knowledge that we have now at 50, we would be able to do something bigger as a foundation, as in raising money to give back to the community and doing different things of that sort. You know what I mean? Before we were just giving, and people understood that, but we also neglected the fact that we could have raised money for different positive programs. You get what I'm saying? So now we at a point now that we get it. Hey, let's do this again. We still have the name because they looking forward to us to come back and do this. So at the end of the day, we gotta come back together. Not as often because the wives won't let us. Straight up, it ain't happening. You know what I mean? It ain't happening. You get what I'm saying? But when we do, it has to be for a cause. You get what I'm saying? And so that's what we trying to move forward on. With all the violence that goes on around here and all the, we have to find a way to give back to the community, and that's what we don't do.
So let's talk about recent development. Let's talk about what's happening to your ever-changing community. I know the landscape has changed. I know the Carter, I heard about it. Kareem would tell me so many stories about the Carter. It's no longer there.
That's their building, your building. Yeah. It's the Carter now. Your old building. They call it the Carter. Definitely that. They call it the Carter.
So there's so many buildings that are not there. The changing landscape, the political movement in this community, a community that was once nobody wanted to touch. Now everybody want to be down.
They even got the swamp on 8th Street. They all of them got to move in August. They finna clear that out.
Stop
the
playing.
projects.
I didn't know
They
about
finna
that.
clear that out in August. August they got to be gone.
Wow.
For sure.
Relocation.
Yeah.
So let's talk about what's happening in your community that you grew up in that's ever changing. How do you guys feel about the developments that are taking place? Does anyone have anything to say about that? And let's be honest.
I can say just Gibson Park in general.
Yeah.
Just imagine if we had that when we grew up.
Wow.
They didn't think about us like that.
Right.
We just kids just growing up in the hood.
Olympic size pool.
Oh my God, the pool, the tennis court, Everything changed, so that's what I'm saying. Like us turning 50 and seeing all the changes that's coming through here, it's not the same Overtown that we grew up in.
So how do you feel about it?
Like, it's tough, but you know, no matter what, I done been around the world, so no matter what you do, eventually your neighborhood gonna change. You know, even though no matter how much pride and love you have for it, politicians, they don't care.
Right.
They
Exactly.
really don't.
Right.
It's the people that grew up in here that understand. They don't understand what being poor means on food stamps.
Right.
8 people living in a 2-bedroom house.
Right.
They don't have to worry about that. They live in big houses.
Right.
You know, once they get into office, do they really care? No, they care about your vote.
Right.
That's all they care about.
Only time they love us, they need our vote.
But that's what I'm saying. Like at the end of the day, when you have Ben coming back running the park, that grew up here and understood what it took, then the kids that come up now, they don't know.
Are we still don't have a seat at the table with the development and the changes that are taking place?
Nah, they trying to run us out of here.
Like with politicians, like if you go in for the right reason, but eventually you can't because you got to play the game.
There you go. There you go.
You
get eliminated.
Exactly. Everything you do, you going for the right reason.
So that was my question for you guys. Is there a good fella willing to become a political candidate?
Because somebody would have to.
Not me.
You know.
Ben was like, no son. Ben was like, no son. No son, not me.
You, Steve, his brother, you know what I'm saying? His brothers.
Is there someone, and if it's not the men at this table,
I'll tell you like this,
over
though.
town, it gotta be y'all.
Know who it is?
who?
It's gonna be you ladies. It's gonna be y'all in the background. It don't have to be, we don't have to be the face. You understand me? Y'all knowledgeable. Y'all educated, just like we educated. But guess what? Sometimes you gotta put that person in front of that door that they don't even look, they might not even look like us.
Because they see us and
Walk
they
right in there
terrified
and go do
anyway.
whatever. They might be intimidated, but when y'all go in there, y'all the backbone of the man. Y'all the rib of the men. You understand me? When you do it biblically, if I say that right?
So how do we change that narrative?
We got to come back together.
That's number one.
We're not together.
That's number
So
one.
a lot of things that we're speaking on, we can't really come at them and be aggressive on. 10 years ago, we could have. But now we can't because we all have different lives. Now, if we're going to be in the community, we're going to be in the community. But we can't come at them just talking to them because they don't want to hear it. You know what I mean? Yeah. We'll meet with you. Yeah. And then walk out the door, hell with him. You get what I'm saying? But if we was to come back together again with 25, 30 good guys that we have, then that'll move mountains. You know what I mean? And that they always say the more together we are, the more afraid they are. You know what I mean? Yeah. You know what I mean? So
From this point on, we know that the white party is coming up. You all have made that free and open to the public.
That was from day one.
Has it always been free and open?
Always. It was from the first party.
the only time we ever had any dollar amount on the door, it was donation to the Overtown office. Correct?
It was for, it was for the kids.
It was donations to the door. But the reason we originally started the party,
Yeah, that's
because we're fathers
You know, and we weren't
and we're
getting
proud
nothing.
fathers, and we wasn't getting nothing.
We weren't getting
We wasn't getting nothing.
We celebrated.
We gonna get no love. So now you see how everybody got loud now. There's a passion that we feel about this part. You know what I mean? There's a passion. There's a passion that we got. You know what I mean? So
We got together and all us said, man, we don't get nothing, man. Father's Day don't mean nothing to nobody but us. So what we'll do is we'll celebrate us with us.
Absolutely. I think what we was sitting on we was on the basketball court. We was sitting on the basketball court that day, sitting right on the court when we decided that.
It showed us we can do more things with it, and that's how we used it.
And what I love about the Father's Day all-white party, it's not just about Overtown.
Right.
We're affiliated with every community.
Every community.
You got Little Haiti, you got Liberty City, Brown Sub, Opelika, Carol City, down south.
Yeah.
You got everybody come in peace and harmony,
Yeah.
with love.
Celebrate and have
Never
fun.
no BS.
Yeah.
Well, that was one of the reasons that I was so passionate about getting you guys together and hearing the story and letting you all tell your own story. But not only that, this is going to be put out for people to see that Overtown is more than just the developments that you see occurring. Nobody has done that. So you had politicians who have come in who have tried their best. You mentioned Michelle. Bless her heart. Bless her heart. You know, there are others who have done their best effort. But honestly, it's going to take something organic. It's going to take something real, because it's not just the voters of Overtown that matter. You're going to, all those communities you mentioned, Liberty City, Alapapa, District 2 is huge. District 109 statewide is huge. It's all of those communities. Those voters need to see and hear something organic and something real that is beneficial for them. You mentioned women. I see men. I see y'all. And even if you pick a woman to represent y'all, that woman would be so fortunate to have y'all behind her. But it's got to happen. The changes you're talking about, you got to get a political seat at the table. The party is a good start. Putting your name out there, and that's one of the reasons I wanted this story told, and I chose Stephanie. So I think this conversation was amazing.
Oh, wait.
Oh, you have one more question?
Yes, before we end. Okay, let's make it a little lighter. Who remembers a story about somebody here that they want to share that's funny? Any memories y'all want to look? or is it what happens at Goodfellas stays with Goodfellas?
We don't have no funny stories we like to share. But the one thing that we all have in common, when we go back home on Sunday and he look out that window. Look.
I'm on the same thing.
That's the only thing we can tell. But that was that we can tell that. But we can tell that one.
We leave every weekend. We used to leave, right? We used to leave, and it's like every weekend we used to leave, and he stayed in Young Hall on campus. So every time we used to drive off, he used to sit in the window and look out, and he used to bend over to look out the window. Look like he about to cry every week. Yeah, every week he look out the window. He don't never come out. You know how you walk somebody. You know how you walk somebody downstairs and say, okay, all right, y'all, I see y'all next time. There ain't none of that. He stay in the window like he watches lead, look out the window. We look up at the window, we say, look at Bo, he don't want us to leave, man. We look up, we don't want to go either though. We don't want to leave either. Well, we look up at him too. He looking down, we looking up. We don't want to go either. Well, we got to go till next time, Bo. We'll see you. But yeah.
So coming in, I know he missed the conversation, but just walking in, Zach Rowe, married to another powerful woman in the Overtown community, married to Trina Harris.
Amen.
Zach a baby good fella. You better get over there. Baby good fella. So Kamini, I see you over there in the corner. Let's get her on camera real quick. Cam, come over here. A sister. She don't remember, but we want to say hello to her, and I'm gonna give her a shout out because she is born and raised Overtown. These are the good fellas. You know these men. I know. So Cam, as a woman who is developing a brand and a business out of the Overtown community, Stephanie and I gathered these men together to break bread and talk about being good fellas and what it means to the Overtown community. What do these men mean to you?
I think for the Overtown community, it just means like you guys are like our guardians. Like you watch over us, you protect, you serve. You know, you don't have to be policemen because half of you guys here sitting at this table watching me grow up, you know, so I do have like respect for everyone here, you know, being that they watched over me, they saw me cheer, grow up, you know, start a business. So definitely guardians of the community.
Wow. Bam.
A quick plug. What is your brand? You Rare. And you can find You Rare sold where?
Oh, so that's Sweet 110. The
All right. So it's all about community, and I gotta say, as we wrap up, thank you so much, Stephanie Van Vark, with going Overtown.
This is great. This is fun.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Story.
I grew up military. Every 3 years, I moved around. I loved it, but don't get me wrong. That's why I love to travel now. But when I came into this community, I told a story. I was living in Miami about 15 years before I even came into Overtown. And even to this day, I tell my mother and my father back in Atlanta that I'm so proud that I had Carter here and that he is being raised in this community where he could walk up and down the street and see Uncle Ernie and see Craig and see Ben and even if Ben fussing him at the park, Carter be like, Uncle Ben told me I need to start running. That is priceless. And in America, there are so very few communities where kids can have that experience. So gentlemen, much like Kamanique said, thank you for being our guardian. Thank you for being our overseer. Thank you for taking care of us. And this is not the end, and we love you. Thank you so much, gentlemen. We appreciate you.
That's so cool. Nah, let's go to town. Let's go to
When y'all get this video, H2, how long it's gonna take to edit this so we can send this to all of them? Did anybody want to go plates?
Me. Yeah.
So, yes, we got to go plates. I know, you like
Me.
Can you make Stephanie a to-go plate with rib tips? The yellow rice, collard greens? Yes. Okay. Thank you very much. 10 dollars. We're out of mac and cheese, but that's okay. Okay, so yellow rice, collard greens, get some to-go plates. All right. You'll survive without the mac and cheese. Oh my God! Stop right there. Oh my goodness. Now you're just in time for the picture.
Yeah, you came in right now.
How are you doing?